Bottle pop, truth drop, welcome to the show. Champagne secrets, let your power grow. Every video, spark, ignite your inner light. Raise a glass to the future, shining bright. Empowerment is the code we decode. Unravel mysteries, life's own secret load. Step by step, tap in, find your flow. With champagne secrets, you're gonna glow.
Unlock the strength within you, watch it bloom. Life's a canvas, painted every room. Through ups and downs, cheers to what's next. Champagne secrets, life's complex. To the show, champagne secrets, let your power grow. Every video, spark, ignite your inner light. Raise a glass to the future, shining bright. Empowerment is the code we decode. Unravel mysteries, life's own secret load. Step by step, tap in, find your flow. With champagne secrets, you're gonna glow. Unlock the strength within you, watch it bloom. Life's a canvas, painted every room. Through ups and downs, cheers to what's next. Champagne secrets, life's complex.
For a second and let's talk. Yo, DJ, roll that beautiful champagne footage.
Oh my life, oh my life, heard the secret. It was, if I've been seeking this special secret. This is something that I've been. Try to put my friends on, and I finally found it, you know. This is a champagne secrets moment. Wanna share it with y'all, so tap in. Scoot up for a second. Let's toast.
And them hoes do not like that. They think I'm Joy Mother, how I'm coming on that my check. Don't check for me if ain't no check for me, and I know not check. Fuck this neck, cause I'm the recipe, I'm really like that. I be Addy in my Addy, while you out here catching bodies. Bitches bank accounts on E, I be like, whoa, keep it savvy. These hoes couldn't stop me, even on my worst day. I keep that cake up in my pockets every day, my birthday. I put my neck on chill, put my wrist on freeze, put the deuces on the whip, and you know I keep them clean. I just came back on the scene like I never took a break. Bitches think I'm selling pussy, niggas think I'm pushing weight. Let a nigga take my faith, that ain't in my DNA. Half you bitches did some scrubs and I ain't talking CNA. I just made another dub, then they do a G a day. Half you bitches need a hug, but that's a whole nother eight. When you pay me for a feature, wanna do the video, I hate to let you niggas know that that's a whole nother pay. They tried to count me out, evidently couldn't count, cause I emerged from the drought and made a whole nother way. Yeah.
Services miss blaring warnings that could have saved the life of a 9-year-old Detroit boy.
His remains were found buried in a backyard at a home in January. The boy's mother was charged with his murder on February 5th.
7 investigator Ross Jones is revealing internal CPS records, raising serious questions about what officials did and did not do when they heard alarming claims about the child's safety.
We identified some human remains, someone small in stature. Extremely sad day.
The scene at Woodingham and St. Martin's in Detroit was enough to shake even career police officers. The body of a child found buried in a shallow grave.
This case is rather shocking. In my 27-year career, I don't remember seeing anything like this.
It took days for officers to determine that the boy was 9-year-old Zamar King, murdered, prosecutors say, by his mother, Brandy Pierce.
It's alleged that she purchased a shovel. She bound him by tying his hands and feet together. She then put him in this hole and covered him with dirt.
But as unspeakable as the alleged crime was, it did not come out of nowhere.
It's just a train wreck that's going to happen, right? You just see it coming, and they don't do anything about it.
By law, records from Children's Protective Services are guarded closely, even after a child dies. But we've obtained internal CPS records that show state employees were warned for years that Zamar was in danger. At least 4 times, records show, Brandy Pierce was the subject of CPS complaints, the first coming in 2015, after Pierce admitted to marijuana and alcohol use during her first trimester. It happened, she said, before she decided to keep Zamar. There were complaints in 2019 and 2021, both alleging that Zamar had been left alone. The first time in the lobby of a Southfield apartment building, with Zamar telling police he did not know where he belonged. Police later made contact with a relative, and the complaint was denied. 2 years later, on a 78-degree day in May, Zamar was left alone in his mother's locked car for more than 90 minutes while she went to a doctor's appointment. She told police her son was a heavy sleeper and claimed doctors wouldn't let him into her appointment.
It's the pattern, right? Here is a mom, again, where she's repeatedly reported by different people in the community.
Frank Vandervoort is a law professor at the University of Michigan and a longtime child welfare advocate who said Pierce's pattern of behavior and the disclosure that she was receiving mental health services on an almost daily basis should have been a red flag to CPS.
That suggests to me a very severe level of mental health need. So I'm troubled by that, and it raises more questions than it answers for us.
The Macomb County prosecutor denied a warrant request for child abuse, saying there was insufficient evidence and CPS working with mom. CPS would close the case after performing a home visit, finding no safety hazards, enough food, and suitable sleeping arrangements. Then, last April, came the 4th complaint to CPS. This time, Pierce would come here to this Plymouth Hospital emergency room, reporting she was anxious and depressed. Pierce told CPS she had a breakdown and felt herself going into a panic attack. She was questioning whether she should give up custody of one of her children. She'd been evicted from a motel, she said. Her car was repossessed. She was completely out of funds. Once she left the hospital, she and her kids would be sleeping on the street.
On its own, how serious is that?
Critical. This is a family with no place to live. She tells the caseworker, I can't sleep in my car, which suggests to me that she's been sleeping in her car at some points.
But what Zamar told CPS was most alarming of all. He had not been to school in over a year, he said, and doesn't always have food to eat. He said his mother beat him with a belt, that she's choked him with her hands, and that she wants to kill him.
Any rational, normal person walking out on the street hearing this would be completely alarmed by what they're hearing. They would take action. They would call the police.
But what CPS did, according to internal records, was close the case. The investigation found no preponderance of evidence of physical neglect. Pierce was provided with pamphlets connecting her with community services, and a note was added to follow up on her mental health appointments. 6 months later, after Zamar reported that his mother choked and wanted to kill him, prosecutors say she did.
It's alleged that she killed him, and that the cause of death found by the medical examiner was smothering and neck compression.
CPS records show that the family was placed at a homeless shelter after that final complaint last April. It is not clear how long they were there. Then in December, Brandy Pierce was found in Georgia. She was arrested after someone reported finding her other child, a 3-year-old, locked in a car alone. Police said temperatures were in the 40s, the child was nude, and there was feces and a deflated air mattress in the vehicle. Citing state and federal law, CPS said they could not comment on this case, but they are heartbroken by Zamar's death and are committed to ensuring the health and safety of all children. Tonight, Zamar's relatives are trying to pay for his burial. They have started a GoFundMe, and we have included a link where you can donate on our website right now at WXYZ.com. Beyond horrific. And we asked CPS, is the employee who handled that last investigation, what is their status? Are they working today? Are they under investigation? Were they disciplined? They said they couldn't comment, but there are many, many questions that need to be asked about this.
I mean, it leaves you speechless, and my stomach is just turning over. Where is that mom? She's locked up right now, or she's getting help?
It is unclear whether or not she's still in Georgia. They have to move her to Michigan so she can be arraigned. Her whereabouts right now are not entirely clear, but she is under arrest.
And her other children are safe, as far as we know.
State custody right now.
Champagne Gang, FizzFam, Confidante. Welcome to the Champagne City, baby. You see it. You see it. It's been a few days. It has. It has. You know, life be lifing sometime. But I am so glad to see y'all. And guess what? One of our confidants had a birthday. So we want to send, hold on, let me get her up here. Now, Nisi, baby, I wanted to do the whole video. My video is gone, boo. I don't know where my birthday video went. But if y'all can do me a favor and drop them happy birthdays in the chat for Miss Nisi B. Let me tell y'all something about her. And I agree with you, Nisi B. They think the anthem for the Momsters need to be whooped that trick. Because these is some unstable creatures. In the words of Baby Boy, these are some unstable creatures. And every time you turn around, you can't research one story without another story coming up. But before we get into all of that, Miss Nisi B from the Champagne City and the Champagne Gang, from all of us here to you, baby, happy birthday. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got gifted. I hope there was no drama. Let me tell y'all something about Nisi. See, my confidants, my A1s since day ones, they weren't even people that I knew. They were individuals that just happened upon my channel and locked in every video I did. They were commenting. I went to her page and subscribed over there. I mean, because if you're going to subscribe to me and comment and share the love with me, I'm definitely going to return the love. That's what we do. It's all about love and uplifting and empowering and building a community and a family, because that's what we are over here. But I noticed this chick just kept commenting on everything that I did. And when I tell you, I might have at the time only had about, Nisi, did I even have 100 subscribers when you subscribe? I don't even think I had, or either I was just over 100. And she would drop in my comments, girl, you got it. Don't stop. I love it here. Keep going. Keep going. I'm like, oh, she encouraging me. Because you know the number of times I wanted to stop. I did. But she locked in. I got to know her. She got to know me. That's bae. That's boo. That's my sis. That's my friend. That's, girl, happy birthday. And when God blesses me and blesses this channel, boo, I promise I got you for the level of loyalty and sincerity you showed to a small channel. Someone you didn't even know. Wouldn't have known me if I would have bumped into you on the street. And you invested your time, your energy, your watches, your comments, your shares, your pushes, all of that. So please know, I am honored to have you as a part of the Champagne Gang. Thank you, my love. And I am wishing you, we are wishing you the biggest happy birthday, my love. Yes. So y'all come on in, link in. We a family over here. Y'all ain't gotta hide in the shadows. We don't bite, we don't argue, we don't fuss, we don't cuss each other out in the chat. We don't do that. We better not. I better not see none. We ain't never did it. Never. As many times as I've gone live, never have we come at each other's throats. It's like one big family. And when the locks show up, it's really a party. So let's get into the show because y'all know we've been talking about these nasty, dirty, trifling, ignorant momsters, as we call it. I was trying to. There's times I be wanting to say stuff, and God be like, no, and I gotta like pull it back in because it bothers me to see the way these babies are getting hurt. And just when we were discussing this trash on the left, Miss Kelli, and I was doing more research to find out if there was an update on her, I ran into the trash across the street, Miss Chantell. So we definitely gonna get into her story. But while I was preparing this show, another story popped up. Story about a 10-year-old boy who was apparently tortured by his mama, her boyfriend, his dad. Y'all, we finna listen to it. This is sick. And this is why I say our children are in trouble. They are. And if we don't figure out something, our future is in trouble because they are the future. And they are being taken out of here by the very ones who are supposed to love, protect, care for, guide, give direction to. They're the ones that's taking their lives. So y'all, we gonna pause for a second before we get into these two miserable wenches on the screen. And let's look at what's going on with this 10-year-old baby who's in the hospital fighting for his life. And this story is out of Florida.
Is everyone ready? Good.
Oh, good. Good. Good.
Hold on, Michaela's figuring her stuff out.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. I'm Chief Sarah Corsi. Thank you all for being here this afternoon. This type of brutal crime shakes the community. The events that took place this past Saturday are deeply disturbing and heartbreaking. The pain and suffering an innocent child endured at the hands of those he trusted and loved the most. Before I turn the podium over to our PIO, Detective Sullivan, I would be remiss if I didn't ask the community to find it in their heart to keep this child, his family, in their thoughts and prayers. Please keep our officers, the hospital staff, and the state attorneys in your hearts also. They're working tirelessly to see that justice is brought to this young child. Detective Sullivan.
Okay, excuse me, that's the stool. Hello, my name's Detective Sullivan. Thank you guys for being here today. So let's get into this. On February 22nd at 10 p.m., we received a phone call from Advent Health Hospital staff that they received a 10-year-old male patient that contained evidence of physical abuse. Additionally, they were performing active CPR on the child and administering life-saving measures. We learned that the child was brought in through the front door of the emergency department after arriving by vehicle with the child's mother, Kimberly Mills, and a male now identified as Andre Walker. Per hospital staff, Andre left the hospital immediately. Once Kimberly learned that law enforcement was on the way, she immediately left the hospital, all while her 10-year-old son was receiving CPR. And just so you guys are aware, this is Andre Walker, and this is Kimberly Mills. Shortly after our units arrived at the hospital, Kimberly Mills returned with her other child. Once we obtained Kimberly's information, we obtained her address, which is within our city limits. Detectives began working immediately on obtaining a search warrant for the house. Kimberly refused to cooperate with the law enforcement investigation. The 10-year-old child was eventually airlifted to a regional trauma center where hospital staff continued life-saving efforts. It is clear to our agency that this child underwent gruesome abuse. He is covered head to toe, He is covered head to toe in various size bruises that are in various stages of healing. Additionally, he is covered in burn marks. This child underwent further abuse that I am unable to discuss at this time. This 10-year-old little boy is fighting for his life. He is in critical condition, and we are unsure which direction his healing will go. There is a high possibility that these charges could be enhanced depending on his outcome. Upon serving the search warrant at the residence, detectives obtained several pieces of pertinent evidence. This evidence told a story of what this child went through, and we believe will help piece together what occurred prior to them arriving at the hospital. To put it plainly, this child was tortured. I'm happy to say that shortly before this press conference, we learned Andre Walker turned himself into the Lake County Jail. Detectives in the community still have questions, and now that we know Andre Walker has turned himself in, detectives will be making contact with Andre Walker. We are hopeful that some of these questions will be answered. Detectives have put countless hours and continue to put all of their efforts towards this investigation. We want justice for this 10-year-old boy, and due to this being an open investigation, certain details cannot be released to or discussed to maintain integrity to this case. At this time, I'm willing to answer some questions.
Apparently this does not seem to be a one-time thing.
Based off of the bruises that we found in various stages of healing, no, we don't believe this is a one-time thing.
Can you say how long you think the abuse is going back?
It's hard to say, but that's something we hope to find answers to.
Was the other boy, did he have any signs, he or she have any signs of abuse?
That's something that hopefully today we'll have answers to that as well.
Has Andre been cooperative? Have you guys even had an opportunity to talk to him at all?
Due to him just recently turning himself in, we're hoping that we can get some of those, any questions that we have for him, that he'll be willing to answer that. So hopefully by the end of today.
If you could talk a little bit about, and you started speaking to, but how the boy who is being treated, how he is doing at this very moment.
At this very moment, he remains to be in critical condition. It's hard to say what direction he's going to go. He's fighting for his life.
Has the mother been cooperative at all? She had any statements you were able to share with us?
She did not wish to speak with us.
Is there any history with this family? Do you guys have a call history at that home, or is there a DCF history with this family?
So we checked with DCF. We did not see any recent or any contact with DCF reports or anything like that. We did do a call history at the residence. There was one recent call where mom called in with questions about the 10-year-old boy.
You didn't respond out there, though?
No, it was a call that could be handled over the phone.
Was there any signs, that is difficult, was there any signs of sexual abuse of this 10-year-old boy?
Some details of the investigation I can't say, but I will have you read in between the lines.
The relationship between Kimberly and Andre, are they a couple? Are they related? What's their relationship?
Sure. So because she wasn't very forthcoming with her relationship with him or him at all, we're still trying to piece together his relationship to her.
Has there been any outside contact with other family in regards to the little boy that's being treated? Any distant relatives?
So biological dad, he lives out of state. He was immediately notified and was immediately able to come down to be with his two sons.
And, can you speak at all to what you may have seen inside the house upon the search warrant?
Enough that we are able to paint a certain picture that leads us to believe this little boy was tortured.
Was the boy in school outside the home?
Yes.
He was going
He attended school, yes.
This may be kind of a piggyback, and you might not be able to answer it, but talking about what you were able to take from the home is, and what has helped you piece together this investigation. I know we talked about firms. Is there anything that you can give us to give an indication of how he might have been burned?
Not without losing the integrity of the case.
If you could speak to the emotions, because I know I spoke to a neighbor, obviously very shocked. Us seeing the details, very shocking, and I see raw emotions during the press conference.
Ask your question one more time.
Your emotions.
My emotions. So, I'm, excuse me, I'm a mother. A lot of us are parents at this agency. So to hear and, you know, based off of what we've seen, obviously this is heartbreaking. As parents, we protect our children. We'll protect anyone's child. So to learn that this child was supposed to be protected and wasn't, obviously is devastating and gut-wrenching. So personally, it's difficult, as you saw. I tried to keep my cool, I'm sorry. So.
For the biological father, what was kind of his reaction? You know, you said he was able to immediately come. What was his reaction, if you can speak to it at all?
If you were to imagine your child undergoing something like this and what your reaction would be, was his reaction. And a very reasonable reaction from a parent that loved their child.
Is he the father of the other child?
Yes,
well?
yes.
Was he married to Kimberly?
I don't know. Anyone else? Okay, thank you guys for being here.
Sad. I got questions for some of you men. That's who I got questions for. I got questions for some of you men and your ability to choose what's in your best interest. Because how did y'all think it was cool? And I understand we young. Sometimes we young, we do dumb stuff. I get it. If that's, y'all need to choose better. You do. You need to choose better. You got to start thinking about who you want to be the mother of your children. That's what you got to start thinking about. Because these stories are becoming all too common. Every time you turn around, it's another one. And another one. I probably saw 3. I just wouldn't have had time to cover them in this video. But I probably saw about 3 new cases. United States. We're not talking about all over the world. We're talking about here. We have a problem. Our children are in danger. Our children are living with monsters. And for the longest time, we thought monsters were daddy. Because all the stories that were coming out were about daddy and stepdaddy abusing the children and essaying the daughters and da-da-da-da-da. Nobody stopped to pay attention to. Jason Voorhees' mama was the original killer. I know it's a movie, but you get my point. All movies is based off real life in some way, shape, form, or fashion. There's some truth to every movie. Bates, wasn't his mama crazy too? So how is it? Oh, I get it. Because women are supposed to be the nurturers. We're supposed to be the comforters. We're supposed to be the wisdom. We're supposed to be the housekeepers and all of that. So no one takes the time to think about the women being the monsters. You should, because look at what we're dealing with now. Look. I'm in the process of preparing to deal with these 2. And up pops this story about this 10-year-old baby fighting for his life in the hospital. And now they got to piece together all the puzzles to find out what kind of torture and abuse this baby been going through and for how long. Mama giving them a hard time. Wouldn't you be concerned if it was your child? You left the hospital What is really going on? We need to sit down and have some conversations about what's really going on with these mothers, with these children, with these households. Also, with some of you men. You women need to make the better choices in who you choose to lay down with, and you men for damn sure. Because once a woman has a baby, 9 times out of 10, that baby is gone naturally. She gets a maternal right. She gets custody. Baby came out of her. What you gonna have to deal with in order to see your child, in order to be in that child life? What you gonna have to deal with if you decide to lay down with this individual and you procreate with them? What you gonna deal with when they 2, when they 3, when they 5, when they 7? This baby fighting for his life at 10 years old. You men, if y'all have children, you better start asking some damn questions. All of that mama's baby, daddy's maybe bullshit that our parents told us, throw that out the window. If you made a seed, you need to call and start checking on them babies. The Bible, we say, warning comes before destruction. All of these stories are y'all warning to find out what's going on in the life of your children before your children end up one of these stories. Because you went to sleep with Dorothy and woke up with the damn Wicked Witch of the West. But that was your choice. But we gonna get into it. Because we need to get into these stories. We need to get into it. Let's start here. Okay, let me change the background up. Y'all know how we do. So today we're discussing Chantell Gardner, who's the woman on the top, the baby that the press conference was talking about. Oh no, we got to get into her so you can see it. That was the 10-year-old baby, but we're going to get into this story about baby Skylar, who lost her life because her mother abandoned her in a home and she froze to death. 2 years old. Matter of fact, she had a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old that she left home so that she could go lay up with a nigga. Y'all just so stigmatized out here. Y'all know that whole trend that went viral on social media, what you won't do for the D? We seeing. Because all these women abandoning their kids to go be with the D. The last monster mom we talked about, she went overseas. Left her infant in the crib. 16 months old. With a few bottles. By herself. This is sad. Where did we lose our womanhood? Where? Was it when Amber Rose started the slut walk? That women decided I'd rather be a slut than to have class? You can be classy without showing your ass. But see, that's not what the media tells you. You can't become Instagram famous if you're not showing your ass. And that's what all the women want now. I can't even say young girls. Because some of the older ones caught up too. All you want to do is show your ass. Use your body to get the next bag. You don't stop and think about the fact that you running your body down. That box ain't gonna stay tight forever, ma. Not the way you running through it. Cat only got 9 lives. Some of y'all about 8.5 in. You gotta stop and think about how is this gonna affect me when I get older. When I'm in my 40s. These are some of the oldest looking damn young people I have ever seen in my life. I was in this place and I was training this lady on this job. And I saw the year she was born. But she says to me, she said, "Are you from here?" And I said, "No." So I told her where I was from. She said, "Oh, I love when I work with young girls from other places because these young girls here don't." I said, "Young? Baby, I am 40 of the 8. What do you mean young?" She was like, "Well, when they're younger than me." So I'm looking at her paper. I know I was born 76, and I know when I was in high school, I was pretty damn good at math. She was born in 77. So 77 comes after 76. So that baby would make you younger than me, not older. But baby girl looked about 55, 60. I can't even make it up. Y'all are looking older and older because you're living rough, fast lives. Not only are you suffering, but your children are suffering. You know what it was like when with your relationship with your parents. Why would you put your children through the same thing you've been through? Why would you force them to endure the same heartache, the same depression? Some of y'all taking pills now because of your relationship with your parents. We gonna talk about it. Let's talk. Scoot up. Some of y'all smoking morning, noon, and night because of your relationships with mama and daddy. Some of y'all running after old men, young men, any kind of man you can be up under because you trying to replace the love of a father. Because you never learn how to love the one person that mattered. You. Y'all so scared to be alone. Every time alone comes knocking at the door, you run and snatch something off the street, throw it in your bed. So alone can't find residency there. Alone just means all one. You don't know how to be one with yourself? If you can't be one with you, how you gonna be one with anybody else? How? How you got all this love to give to everybody else, but ain't learn how to give it to you? How you ain't learn how to give it to your star player, in the words of Cat Williams? But you got so much love to share. No, you don't. You shouldn't be sharing love with nobody if you ain't sharing it with your kid. They came out of you. It is a cowardice, punk ass move. It's a bully move to pick on helpless children that can't fight back. And we wonder why a lot of these kids now flipping the hell out and shooting up schools and laying down their entire households. We need to start taking a deeper look into some of these households. Some of these monsters are monsters because we created them that way. And this ain't talking about the streets. This ain't, that's a whole different conversation. We ain't talking about the streets and the gangs. We talking about these dictators in some of these houses that y'all gotta call mama and daddy. That's taking out the hurt and anger and pain on you that they are too coward to inflict on the world, or the individuals that really cause them the pain that they're feeling. They'll never hurt mama and daddy, but they'll abuse you. Somebody who can't fight back. Come on, y'all. These babies in trouble. So we're gonna get into her story. Y'all know this tramp down on the bottom is the one that left them babies in that squalor. Well, I found a video on Facebook where they were actually doing a walkthrough. I know a lot of people had questions about, what the rest of the house looked like. Well, we're going to take a look at this video of them doing this walkthrough of the house. So 1 second. Just trash. Them must the girls were sleeping out. Because remember they said they were sleeping out. Just trash everywhere. This house was not overrun with rats. I ain't seen a mouse jump out. I ain't seen a centipede. I ain't seen a spider. And them babies had to be here. Can you imagine how it smells? I'm sure under those boxes is food. But then maybe not, because the mama only periodically brought them food. So can you imagine if they was probably eating molded food? How as a she was just on it. You know, they taking pictures all on social media. Strike a post now, vogue on social media. Talking about getting done and all of this on social media. Food crimes on Facebook. This is what children were exposed to. This is crazy. But this is who we're getting into today. This is who we're getting into. What I want to say is we got to get back to a place as a community where if we see something, we say something. I don't want to hear nothing about snitches get stitches. That went out the window with Cat Williams the beginning of 2024. Because ever since Cat Williams did that interview on Shay Shay Show, baby, everybody been snitching. So please, the thugs been snitching, the unthugs been snitching, the wannabe thugs been snitching, the practice looking hard thugs been snitching, the regular people been snitching, the celebrities been snitching. Then it turned into Soup Fest. Everybody wanted to soup. So please, see something, say something. You see a little girl walking down the street with a man, you good, sweetie? We gotta care about each other again, is what I'm trying to tell you. Because we've gotten so to the place of everything is out of sight, out of mind, that we forgot how to care about each other and each other's well-being. When we were kids, there was a older lady who used to live down the street from us. She had to be in her 80s. Every single weekend, my mom would take us with her, and we would go down there and clean up her house, clean up around her yard, to let her know you got somebody on this block that cares. When did we stop caring about each other? And it doesn't make it any better that we have shows like Now That's TV and damn Zeus Network, that all they do is teach you how to be against each other. Not only, we ain't even gonna say that. Love and hip hop, all of them. None of these shows teach you how to healthily resolve conflict. Only one taught you that was a Iyanla Vanzant. Y'all ran her off the TV. Y'all toxic ass. She was helping to fix my life. Y'all ran her off the doggone television because y'all wanted to keep going on her damn show acting an ass. And she was the very one that y'all needed because she wasn't going to hold no punches and play no games. Where is these people friends at? I know where the friends at. The friends is up they ass like all the rest of the friends are. See, we're no longer in a day and age where friends do stuff like look you in your face and tell you you on some bullshit. You need to get it together. We don't have them kind of friends no more. The kind of friends that we have now are the friends that tell you everything that you want to hear. Do you, girl? You can do you. Yeah, you, girl. Don't get that money, girl. Them the ones. Them the friends y'all got. That's what y'all call friends. Y'all don't want the kind of friends that pull you to the side and say, boo, okay, you done had enough to drink. Calm your attitude down. No, we're not fighting today. Make your dress maybe an inch longer. I mean, you ain't gotta show your ass every time we go out. Y'all ain't never had them kind of friends. Friends that'll tell you to go lay down somewhere. Y'all ain't never had them kind of friends. See, y'all ain't never really had friends. These girls couldn't have had no real friends. Not only couldn't she have had a real friend, she definitely ain't had no real man. No. See, y'all like the dudes that's just gonna lay up with you and pipe you down real good. So you can get on social media and brag about it. So you can get in your friend group chats and brag about it. See, them the kind of men y'all want. The ones that's only good for laying pipe. Them the kind y'all want. The ones that's only good for a good head game. Them the ones y'all want. Y'all don't want no kind of nigga that's gonna look you in your face and tell you, all right, you spent the night with me, but you got kids at home. You need to go home to your kids. Cause ain't no woman who with kids gonna be laying up under me 24/7, and I know you got children. Not only do you have children, but you have a 2-year-old and a damn 3-year-old. Them kids still need bonding time from you. Children learn from repetition. What do you... Prime example, we just looked at the walkthrough from the Michigan house. That girl ain't been more taught them kids how to clean than the man in the damn moon. Not to look at all that trash. So if you're leaving your 2 and 3-year-old at home consistently, what are you teaching them? What are they learning? Hold on, y'all. While you go lay up with him, and what kind of men are y'all? I'm hard on men for a different reason. Because I want y'all to choose queens, not all this trash that's running around here. You should be looking for you a one-in-a-lifetime type chick. Not something that looks like a carbon copy of the last damn idiot that you had. But y'all like toxic. That's what it is. The crazier she is, the more you like it. Because, the sex is good, right? Right? Her head game good, right? Then down the line, you crying on the news, standing in front of the people because your babies is gone. Because you procreated with the psycho carbon copy. Choose better. I ain't even telling you to choose something like your mama, because we talking about monster moms. Some of y'all had some monster moms. That's why some of y'all fucked up in the head now. It wasn't daddy. See, y'all ain't used to this talk because I'm a woman, right? I'm supposed to be girl empowerment. It's all the men's fault. The men out here are shit. They're trash. In the words of Cat Williams, if you keep attracting ain't shit niggas, you need to figure out what it is about your putty tat that keeps attracting ain't shit niggas. So no, we're not gonna do that over here. We're not. But we are gonna tell you to level up so that you can want better and so you can choose better so that we can stop seeing this. Because this didn't just show up. This was there all along. But let's get into it so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Because these are pictures of her house. Now, these pictures don't look much different than the pictures from Kelly's house. What you can't see in these pictures is, according to the news report, the floor was covered in feces. The child had feces running out of her pamper. The boy did too. They saved him just in time. And they said if they wouldn't have gotten there when they did any longer, the little boy would have probably passed away too. In the freezing cold. Everything stained with urine. And she was leaving a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old night after night at home by themselves, locked in a room, in a closet. This bitch needs to be skinned alive. She needs to suffer the same fate that her 2-year-old had to suffer. Yeah, she does. Because how? But let's take a look at the news report on this. Hold on one second. I'm sorry, this is the article. Give me one second. See if my interact is gonna work today. So, an Indianapolis mother is now charged with murder and child neglect following the death of her 2-year-old girl who was found living in horrific conditions. Prosecutors claim the girl and her 3-year-old brother were left alone for days inside a cold apartment. Police claim the entire apartment where the little girl and her young sibling lived was littered with feces, urine, garbage, and rotten food. Now, this is the part that we got to stop and think about, right? Because a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old at that age, what do they do? Somebody tell me in the chat. What are 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds synonymous with doing at that age? If something is on the floor, they're going to do what? Put it in their mouth. If they're hungry, they're going to grab something that looks edible and do what? Put it in their mouth. So if the house is littered with rotten food and feces, and she's gone for nights at a time, what you're telling me is these babies were eating rotten food and feces. Because they're children. They're at that curious age. They're at that explore age. I want to explore everything. And the way they explore things is with their mouth. I want you to think about that so that we can let it sink in what these babies have been going through, what they had to endure night after night. Not only that, but the house was cold. The house was cold. This story was January 30th. So we right in the beginning peaks of winter. And this was in Indianapolis. So you talking about the north. And if anybody knows anything about the cold in the north, it's a different kind of cold. Preliminary doctors believe that Skylar Gardner, which is the baby, that she died from hypothermia. But her body was also covered in bruises and bite marks, with a puncture wound on her neck and frostbite on her feet and hands. Doctors believe the puncture wound occurred post-mortem, likely from a rodent. So, not only was this baby left by herself. Hold on one second, because YouTube trying to trip. Y'all know how they do. Y'all know how they do us. Ever since we talked about them sex robots. Let me make sure. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right. We just gonna let it do what it's gonna do. Y'all know they don't like for us to go live and be talking. Especially some of the stuff we cover. Damn robots, I'm trying to tell you. Y'all just had to be there. If y'all new to the channel, you had to be there, child. We done had some stuff happen on the channel, honey, from some stories we tried to cover. The victim's mother, Chantell Gardner, admitted she knew she was neglecting her young kids by letting them live alone in filth for days and nights on end, but she insisted she didn't physically harm her kids on purpose. Over the weekend, officers found the little girl deceased. She and her brother had been living in filth um, in an apartment in the 6300 block of Newberry Road. Let me see. The victim's mother was charged with murder and neglect, not because she intended to hurt the child, but because prosecutors believe she knowingly placed her daughter in a deadly situation. That would leave one question for the jury. She knew it was bad. Did she know someone would die? Said Tompkins. When you're charged with acting knowingly, it means when you engaged in the conduct and were aware to a high degree of certainly, I think that's supposed to be certainty, the death would occur. According to the affidavit, she left her young children home alone for several hours every day and night while she stayed at a boyfriend's house. So her boyfriend has also been charged, 39-year-old Brian Thomas, and we're going to get into him. And he was charged with 2 counts of assisting a criminal. Thomas is accused of lying to investigators. Y'all, that's why I keep saying you men have to do better. You do. You men have to do better, because I can't understand a man laying up with a woman and he knows that she has children, and I get it. Somebody is going to make the argument, well, I never said I wanted to wife her. I just wanted to get some. Anytime you have sex, unless her tubes unless she's had a hysterectomy or he's had a vasectomy, and I've heard some stories, even with those. But anytime you have sex, there's the potentiality that a little bambino, a little bambolina can come rolling out of the punana. So there's no such thing as I was just trying to have a little fun. Why y'all not more selective with what y'all spearfishing in? Why? Y'all ain't scared of it falling off? Help me understand. Y'all ain't scared it's gonna stop working? You gonna lose the feeling in it? I don't know. You're not gonna be able to get it up. Because I just don't understand why men aren't more selective with what they lay down with, what they choose to procreate with. Y'all need to start taking a list and checking it twice, finding out who's naughty and nice. That's before y'all lay down with a woman. That's what y'all need to do. Y'all need to look past the exterior and start having a conversation. I am extremely sapiosexual. If before you can ever touch me physically, you got to touch me mentally. You got to be able to stimulate my mind. If you ever think you can stimulate anything else. Y'all don't care about that no more. Yes, progressive one. That's exactly what I mean. You better make you a list and check it twice. Yes, you got to. The village gone. The village definitely, we need to figure out how to bring it back. We do. People who check up on people. People who will check the hell out you, they see you getting out of order in public. Sugar, don't do that. That ain't what you want to do. But see, the old grandmamas, and the old church mothers, the old meemaws and big mamas, see all of them gone. The grandmamas and great grandmamas now still want to be in the club. They still want to body yada yada and party yada yada. You know. They still want to party like it's 1999. It ain't 1999 no more, boo. You should be trying to leave an inheritance for your grandchildren. You should be the one with the watchful eyes so you can tell your children when danger is coming. But no, we want to be in the fight with the kids. You know. We want to be out in the street with the kids. We want to be in the club with the kids. I don't want to go to a club with a bunch of 20-year-olds. I don't. My kids are in their 20s. What we got in common? I can't stand half of their music. All they doing is fighting and frucking. That's all. Killing, fighting, and frucking. That's all the new music is. You remember when we had music and stuff about making love, you know, painting the town red. You know, who can I run to? You know, songs. I'll make love to you. Your songs that made you feel good. That made you want to look into the person's eyes you was with. You know, songs. Jodeci, you better come through. Now, look. Grandma used to churn butter and make ice cream on the front porch. You remember? Y'all remember snow ice cream? My auntie used to make it, sit that pot outside. Jodeci, fiending. Come on, Joe. I would see you. And we knew what they was talking about. But they made you feel like they wanted you. Look, all you had to hear was, don't talk, just listen. Come on, y'all. But no. Yeah, now you want a woo woman now? You gotta play throwback. Mm. You gotta play Trey songs, make you think I invented sex. I know I'm older than you. So we wonder how we can end up here. Don't worry, I ain't lost my spot. It ties all back in, baby. I promise you. You wonder why we end up here with these. Because we've lost something. As women, we lost something. We lost our pricelessness. We lost our value in our eyes. We were always told when we were young, you are the treasure. Make him hunt for you. Treasures aren't sitting on top of the ground. They have to be searched for. You need a treasure map. Women, and that don't mean you got to make it hard for a man. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we've lost the value in us. We're given to the highest bidder now. The person with the biggest bag get to tap that ass. You know, that's us. But if another bigger one comes along, then we on for that too. We don't have no boundary. We don't have no standard. But that's because y'all listen to these new age folk tell you you ain't never broke as long as you got the putty tap between your legs. How long is that gonna work for you? How long? When you decide to settle down and that thing is wore out, bent up, crumpled up, when that thing twisted like a paper clip, when that thing's so open, you can run a water hose through. What man gonna want you? When he can't enjoy you? Oh, I forgot. Y'all just gonna go get the surgery to fix it, right? You know, because that's the day and age we living in now. Just go hop on the table, get it right as rain. And we wonder why we have a problem because everybody wants something quick. Everybody wants something fast. You had a baby and somebody told you your life don't have to stop because you have children. Somebody told you that. So now you want to be in the street. Now you want to find yourself. Now you trying to live your best life. Even though you got little ones at home that you should be caring for. But you still want to have your hot girl summer. I don't know. Tell me what y'all think. But I want y'all to check out this story of what happened to baby Skylar. Hold on one second. If it lets me open it up. Here we go.
A 2-year-old girl is dead, found allegedly neglected, covered in bruises, and abandoned in a home so filthy it's being called a biohazard. Let's jump right in. For Law and Crime, I'm Kennedy Walker. This photo from the Marion County Sheriff's Office, obtained by Fox 59, reveals the horrifying conditions an Indianapolis woman allegedly subjected her children to, leaving them alone for days on end. The bedroom was nothing short of a nightmare. The mattress and crib were covered in feces, and police say that trash, urine, garbage, and rotten food were scattered across every surface in the apartment. Meet 33-year-old Chantell Gardner. The mother, police say, is behind the horror. She's been arrested and charged with murder and child neglect. According to authorities, Gardner called 911 after finding her daughter, 2-year-old Skylar, unresponsive under a dresser. But the details of what happened before that moment are chilling. Documents obtained by Fox 59 indicate preliminary findings suggest Skylar died from hypothermia, with frostbite clearly visible on her feet and hands. During the investigation.
Now, that's what I want y'all to think about, right? You've been outside in the cold as an adult, and you know how, especially if you from Detroit, Midwest, Milwaukee, Indiana, Chicago, excuse me, those areas, the cold, as the old folk would say, plugs your bones. Real talk. Y'all know how the cold feel to y'all as adults. I want y'all to take a moment to think about how that is multiplied with a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old in a house by themselves. Have you ever been walking outside in the cold at night by yourself? You ever got lost while you was walking in the cold? Or have you ever had to walk down a dark street by yourself in the cold? No vehicle, no ride, no nothing, nobody around, just you trying to get to your destination in the cold. Have you ever done that and you weren't prepared for the cold? Let's bring it on home. Because I want you to take that moment and imagine you were a 2 and a 3-year-old having to experience the cold, having to experience the aloneness, having to experience the dark. Because remember, she left them at home alone all night so she could spend the night with her dude. And then to be unprepared for the cold. The older you get, your skin toughens so it can adapt to different weather conditions and different changes going on in the atmosphere. This is a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old. Their bodies haven't adapted yet. Their bodies are still forming. At 2 years old, don't you still have a soft spot in your head? All of your organs aren't even fully formed yet. And you subject that 2-year-old and 3-year-old whose bodies haven't even equipped itself to be able to deal with the temperature changes and the world on its own. Can you imagine the fear those babies were going through? In the house, alone, no mama. And again, I say, there was no neighbors, no family. Nobody heard these babies cry. Because at 2 and 3, oh, you better believe they cried. Nobody heard them cry. Scream for mommy. Cry help. Because when you're a real mama, you can tell the difference in cries. You can. Every cry don't even sound the same. There's a cry your kids give you when they hungry. There's a cry your kids give you when they sad. There's a cry your kids give you when they angry. There's a cry your kids give you when they sleepy. There's a cry your babies give you when they sick. There's a cry they give you when they scared. You mean nobody understood their cries? Heard them cry? There wasn't a mother anywhere near there whose heart reached out and said, I need to go and make sure these babies are okay. Knock on the door or something to see if somebody will come to the door. Call the police to do a welfare check. Because babies are crying all night long. Not only that, but the babies were hungry. You've been hungry before. When you get too hungry, it can make you sick. Your stomach can start cramping up. And this was a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old going through this. This heifer deserves to be under the jail. Unfed. In the cold. Matter of fact, put her in the area under the jail that leaks. Not only that, put her under in the place under the jail that leaks and is cold. Not only is cold, but it has rats. Oh, because I forgot to tell you. Some of those marks that was on by baby Skylar was because the rats had began to chew at her body. No, there's no sympathy for these bras. Ain't nothing you can tell me. There's nothing you can fix your mouth to say to me or anybody else on God's green earth that ain't so green no more, 'cause they done messed it up. That will help me understand how you can do this to your children, a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old. I get some of these teenagers make you want to strangle the out of them. So I can get you wanting to leave and get away and get to your boyfriend's house and get a break from a teenager. But a 2-year-old? The video that you saw in the beginning before we started our show, oh, baby, that's Miss Shawnee B. That's Miss Chantell Gardner. Because she wanted to be a rapper. So she was on social media trying to push her rap career. But you're leaving your children in squalor and filth to eat feces and be soiled with urine in the cold, to die a horrible death. I don't give a damn whether she knew they would die or not, according to the article of what was said they would have to answer in court. The fact of the matter is, you knew you shouldn't have left a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old at home by themselves. They do not have the ability to take care of themselves or protect themselves or to understand what's safe and what's not. 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds pick up things and stick them in sockets. They pull things down. They flip things over. Anything could have happened in this house. What if they would have accidentally set something on fire? These mamas enrage me. Just pure enrage. Let's continue.
Investigation, authorities found the apartment's rooms were shockingly cold, with temperatures ranging from just 46 to 51 degrees. The apartment's furnace wasn't working properly, yet Gardner allegedly never reported it to maintenance. Instead, she left her children to endure the frigid temperatures. According to court records, Skylar's body was covered in bruises on her arms, legs, face, back, and groin. A large puncture wound on her neck was also.
You so trifling. All you had to do was call maintenance and get your heat fixed. But you wanted to be up under a nigger, so much so, to get some funk-ass pecker that your trifling ass couldn't even call maintenance to get the heat fixed in the house, so that your babies could have some heat. I don't even know what to call these creatures, because these aren't mamas. These incubators, because that's all they were.
Also discovered, possibly caused by a rodent after her death. As for the mother's explanation, documents state the 33-year-old said her daughter's vaginal bruising was a result of her diapers not being changed enough. She denied ever sexually assaulting her, but allegedly admitted she knew she was neglecting both of her children by leaving them home alone. In documents, she allegedly told police the children didn't always behave, so leaving them home was easier. It went on to say eventually Gardner stayed away from the apartment altogether due to the foul odor and instead stayed out.
Ignorant ass, they 2 and 3 years old. No, they not gonna behave because you ain't taught them to behave yet. How they gonna do something you haven't even taught them to do yet? They're 2 and 3. This is the no, don't go there stage. Stop. That's hot. Don't stick that in there. You'll get hurt. Time to go to sleep now. Lay down. Take a nap. Rest your body. Come on, let's read a book. Say yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Say thank you. Say excuse me. See, this is the age when you tell them these things. I'm so glad they got the baby boy out in time. Otherwise, we would be talking about 2 fatalities instead of just baby Skylar.
Her boyfriend's home, allegedly bringing her children food only once a day. Her boyfriend, Brian Thomas, is also facing charges, including 2 counts of assist.
I always wanted to know why I am the way I am.
We gotta let them get
My
their money
curiosity
on.
led me to Ancestry.
Assisting a criminal.
Here to break down this case with me is trial attorney Krista Ramey. Krista, in addition to being an attorney, you also specialize and represent children of abuse.
I do. Thank you for having me today, by the way.
Of course. Now, let's just dive straight in. Based on your experience, how does the legal system typically handle cases involving child neglect and abuse like the one we're discussing today?
This is going to touch about every area of the court system, this case, because you have now issues of potentially murder charges that will be brought with the mother. We've got a surviving son that will need to be placed. So they'll go through the dependency courts. And, you know, hopefully there's a family member that can take this little boy, but there's going to be that aspect as well in terms of dependency, adoption, foster, all of that. There is no way with the facts that are alleged here that this little boy will ever be placed with his mother again, regardless of what happens in a criminal trial.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a sad case from all angles. As a lawyer who advocates for children, though, what are the most common red flags that people should watch for when it comes to child abuse or neglect?
So when comparing to this case and when reading what was happening here, there were red flags that should have been seen by a number of people. This woman lived in an apartment building. So, you know, in apartments, we're in close quarters. There should have been smells coming from that apartment based upon the descriptions in the news articles, that feces was covered all over the walls and furniture, that there was rotten food in the house, that there was children that were probably at such a young age crying an awful lot because they're alone and very frightened. Skylar, the little girl, was found under a dresser. So the level of fear and anxiety that child must have had in the last moments of her life are unimaginable. There are a number of other people, including her boyfriend, that should have seen these red flags. Where are these children going? Is there a babysitter that is taking care of them every single night? Why aren't these children in daycare? Who are the other caregivers and people that love these children in their lives? They should have seen physical signs of abuse on their arms. It looks like that there was bruising on the children's arms, cuts, abrasions, whatnot. When you don't see a child or hear from a child for days, you know, this is another big red flag. What is going on in this house? That they're never leaving the home. So there were a lot of missed opportunities for these children to be saved, quite honestly.
So we're going to stop that right there because I need to get into this jail call. But like she said, this was an apartment building. Somebody smelled something. Somebody heard something. You heard this baby cry. But no, we're in such a day and age where that's not my business. I worry about my business. You worry about yourself. We're in that day and age where if it's not us, we don't care. We got to get back to the place where we start caring because we want people to care if it was one of ours. We want people to reach out. We will be screaming it from the rooftop if this was our grandchildren. We got to start back being a community, being a village, being real friends, family. Yeah, the family structure is so tore down in the Black community right now. I don't know how it happened. I don't know when it happened, but it's so tore down. We need to figure out how to build it back up. We really do. Because we're losing and we're missing out on valuable moments. We're missing out on legacies and empires that could be created if we learn how. Do you not realize that we are in a day and age where we are going to have to learn how to, as families, come together and live together and put our money together to survive? Mark my words. Y'all see all the orders that Trump is signing, everything that he's trying to do. We gonna have to learn how to come together. Put our differences aside. Let go of who shot John 30 years ago. Learn how to say, forgive you. We have to. Because we gonna have to come together to survive. Do y'all get? Every other culture seems to be figuring this out but us. Because if we get in the house together, y'all know how we do. It's, well, she got more kids, she need to give more. He eating up more food, he need to give more. He make more on his job, he need to contribute more. I'm not doing da-da-da. We don't know how to come together for nothing. Except when a white cop unalives one of us, we for damn sure know how to come together for that. But we can't come together and figure out why an apartment building, we hear a baby crying all hours of the day and night. Overnight. We don't knock on the door. We don't ask no questions. We just don't care no more. That's sad. But, like y'all heard them say, not only do they have Chantell in jail, but they have her dude in jail too. The one she was going over to the house to spend nights with and lay up with 3, 4, and 5 nights out of the week and all of this. Well, he's been charged as well. But there was a phone call released. And I want y'all to listen to this phone call and tell me what y'all think. So check out this jail call that Chantell made to Bryant before he got locked up, I think, apparently.
When I talked to the detectives, I'm like, I don't know why they keep including you. When I told TT, I told him, I said, I don't know why they keep including him. I said, had I not, called him to come get seen, like he wouldn't even be a part of this shit.
I mean, I get that. You feel me? Like somebody need to be there for Saint, but they, it's these motherfuckers on social media, and it's this motherfucker sending me shit like, this nigga knew, how could this?
When I talked to the detectives, I'm like, I don't know why they keep including you. When I told TT, I told him, I said, I don't know why they keep including him. I said, had I not, called him to come get seen, like he wouldn't even be a part of this shit.
I mean, I get that. You feel me? Like somebody need to be there for Saint, but they, you know, it's these motherfuckers on social media, and it's this motherfucker sending me shit like, this nigga knew, how could this nigga just clearly let her lay up over there knowing that the kids is over there? I'm like, nigga, she know for a fact I would have got on her motherfucking ass if nigga that was the motherfucking case. And that's what I'm saying, like, that's why I'm mad at you, because you know you could have fucking told me this shit. You know you could have told me this shit.
I was embarrassed, like I was trying to make it like I had shit together, like I thought I had shit together. I really thought I had shit together, like I was trying to get shit together. Like there wasn't a point in time, like I know there'll be times where you would ask and you'd be like, you okay?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you recall, like, but like that going down, he was like, you okay? You know, that's the shit that was on my mental when you was asking.
When I was asking you, was you okay?
Yeah. I'd be like, I'm alright, I'm cool. Or like the day when you had ordered the food, I was like, fuck, the friend just texted me about the Pampers.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like I had a moment right there. I was like, fuck, I need to go check on them like that. And that was just me going to go check on them. Type shit. You feel me? Like, cause I knew like it was just like spurts or it'd be times where I just felt like I needed to get back to them. You feel me? Like, but my goal was to get shit together. Like I told them, like she said she seen the cleaning supplies, but like I told her like that Thursday, but she was trying to be an asshole. But she was like, well, how do I know those weren't for Brian's house? Because I'm like, Brian and his brother cleaned their own house. You feel me? Like, wow. And if it was for Brian, why wouldn't I just take this to his house?
Exactly.
Like that shit. Like, I was trying to get that shit together. I told her to look through my text messages where me and best friend was texting, and I asked for the pediatrician phone number. Look through my call records where I was calling Dr. Fisher to make appointments with Skylar, and I get together. Or I didn't want you to feel like I was rushing shit, but in a way I was like rushing shit, you feel me? So I could get them in a better environment, because I knew that environment wasn't safe or clean for them.
How was she trying to rush anything to get them in a better apartment if she laying over there with him the 4 or 5 days out the week? And this is where, fellas, y'all gonna have to tap in, because now this is a catch 2020, and we gonna finish this call. But the catch 2020 is this: you cannot be held responsible for the actions of a trifling ass mama. That's number one. That's number two. But number one, as a man, you shouldn't want to be laid up with some woman that has little children and she under you 24/7. You had to know there was a problem. Was that your problem? No, wasn't your problem. Y'all not married. Those not your kids. That's somebody you was laying up with. However, it is your problem because you knew she had children. And you shouldn't want to be laid up with some woman who has children and she's spending more time being concerned about you than she's spending being concerned about her children. That is a problem. The kitty can't be that good. That you out of sight, out of mind. Women, why would you lay up with a man that don't care about your kids like they care about their own? Listen, my stepdad, my mom married my stepdad. And I'm only calling him stepdad to give y'all context. I had 2 daddies, a biological one and one that my mom married. But my stepdad would never allow you or anybody else to call me and my sister his stepchildren. We were his children. So much so that when my stepdad passed away, on his obituary, it listed me and my sister as his children. How do y'all lay up with these men that don't see your children as their own? Do you not understand that is the whole role of a step parent, you are literally stepping into the role of that parent. If you're a stepmother, you're stepping into the role of that mother. If you're a stepfather, you're stepping into the role of that father, which means in their absence, you operate in their stead. If you with somebody you can't trust to discipline, upgird, lead, guide, and give instruction to your children, why are you with them? Why? Why are you laying down with a man that don't look at your kids as his own? Holler if you hear me. Why? That makes sense to you. You and your children are a package deal. If he can't accept your children, he forfeits the package. Same with you fellas. And these women. If you got a woman that has a problem with you seeing your children, being around your children, listen, y'all, let me tell y'all something. I was dating this guy and he had kids. His daughter was in kind of like that late teen rough patch. Her and mama wasn't getting along or whatever. Mama was trying to tell him and da 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 da. But because him and mama wasn't getting along, he wouldn't communicate with mama. And I told him, I said, wait a second. Because if mama not okay, your baby not okay. If you don't get on the phone with that woman and find out what's going on, me and you gonna have a problem. See, I ain't one of them jealous broads. See, y'all got too much jealousy and envy in y'all heart. If you know what you doing and what you providing to your dude, nobody else can come in and mess that up, baby. But you and him. So what am I jealous about somebody else for? That don't even make sense. I ain't even finna question you about another broad. Unless you doing something and trying to throw it in my face. Now, something different. We not stupid. We just smart. But how? How do you choose someone that doesn't choose every part of you? How? How do you choose someone that don't even choose what came out of them? How? How do you fall in love with someone that can't even love what they birthed? Not concerned about what they birthed. Because any mama that would stay away from her 2-year-old and 3-year-old don't give a damn. And you left your children in the house with rats. So I for sure know they was screaming out. Nasty, filthy critters. Some of y'all women. I don't know. I don't know where we went wrong. I don't. See what y'all saying in the comments real quick before we continue. This Mr. Magoo, as a ninja knew, I'm not Pooh the fool. He wouldn't mess with her, period. Facts. What man would? It sounds rehearsed like he covering his, you know what. That's how I feel too. I feel like he did this to try to cover himself. They did this. And did y'all notice, once again, no tears. She's in jail for the death of her child. And all she manages to discuss in this phone call is she didn't want to burden him. She didn't want to put too much on him. She wanted to get back to him. She just wanted to be under him. There's no tears for your children. You did this because you want to save face in front of him. Y'all priorities is it is.
But you know, anyway, like, even when I did see the babies, like, you know for a fact, like, even if that was the case, when you was spending the night over here, like, you could have brought them. You could have brought them, nigga. If anything, you know, if push came to shove, I would have paid for daycare.
You already had a lot on your plate.
It don't matter, though. Them babies come before the bullshit I got going on. I would rather have paid to put them in daycare than figure it out like this. You said what?
I said I didn't want to be a burden.
But still, though, sweetheart, you gotta, you had to move a little bit different, like.
I know.
The hell you mean move different? You need to be a mother. Ain't no such damn thing of moving different. Where's his anger in this? He ain't even. Well, sweetheart, you gotta move different. The fuck? No, you should have been moving like a mother. I enabled you. I'm part of the problem in this situation because I let you lay up with me knowing that you had little children. That's crazy. Let's continue.
Yeah.
Get shit together. And then that's when I went in the room and I seen her. And I picked her up and I took her. I had to just bought some Gatorade. I was trying to get her to drink Gatorade because like her eyes was like they was like still rolling. So I'm like, maybe she's still, you feel me?
Yeah.
And after I had called you to tell you to come get things, I brought her to the hospital. I called 911 and they told me to get her CPR. But I just couldn't. I couldn't.
Still lying because how was the baby hair rolling in the back of her head and she was already gone? So you still lying. How the baby hair eyes rolling in the back of her head and she's deceased?
Yeah.
When I heard her, I just felt like my best bet was getting her to the hospital, but as you saw when I took her outside, because I said it was too weak. But I was definitely trying to get shit together for my babies. I just didn't want to be a burden on nobody. I didn't know how to ask for help. You have 1 minute remaining.
I'm already knowing.
Just dumb. These two deserve each other. The type shit. These two damn deserve each other. They do. Because what do you mean you didn't know how to ask for help? You wasn't trying to. How was you trying to ask for help? How was you trying to get help? How was you trying to help when all your time was spent laid up with him? How? You didn't care about them babies. You didn't care about getting help for them. All you cared about was laying up with this nigga. Neither one of them sound bothered. I couldn't have been the dude in this situation. She'd have been called all kind of raggedy, trifling, yuck mouth, trash ass, degenerate bitches on their telephone. I can't even make it up. I can't. They both just calm, like they recapping last night's news. No sorrow, no tears, no pain, no hurt, no nothing. Just you gotta move different. Well, she ain't moving nowhere except to cell block 1. That's the only place she moving to now. Throw the book at her. That's what I want them to do. But y'all, what makes this even worse is these two wanted to be rappers together. They wanted to start a music career. Check this out. Oh wait, I don't think I had an audio on.
She like it slow and easy, that's the way she rollin' when we back in. That slide in, she love it when we pussy wet like the ocean. So I'm cruising when we
you forget
she want it slow and easy. Come on, girl, don't tease me. I just can't get enough.
Let me start it over for y'all.
She like it slow and easy, that's the way she rollin' when we back in. That slide in, she love it when we pussy wet like the ocean. So I'm cruising when we she want it slow and easy. Come on, girl, don't tease me. I just can't get enough.
That's all she worried about. Making sure she get it slow and easy. Come up off the rap game is all she care about. Not her babies. So that was them rapping together. But this guy, don't know who he is, ran into him. His name is Terrence. But on Facebook, he does a podcast and he did an interview with Brian. And we're going to check out a little bit of the interview because I'm going to drop the interview as its own video so that you can see the whole thing. But check this out.
All right, y'all. So this is Brian right here. Hey, brother, don't worry about the comments.
I ain't tripping about that.
You know what I mean? That's just part of it. Karen, what that other thing at right there? Okay, so let's just do this. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let's do this. Let's cut this off right here, wife. Boom. Do this like this. You take your phone out of this. And remember what I told you. If there's anything come to your mind, you let me know. I'm going to put this right here. Real fast, bro. Real quick. Oh, shit. Wife, put your code in.
You know my code.
I don't.
You're acting brand new because you on your.
I don't know your code. You know. I don't know your code. We know that. Yeah, whatever. Shit. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna hold it like this. All right, so brother.
Yeah.
It's a lot going on in the news about Chantell and your involvement of the 2-year-old that was murdered.
Yeah.
And from the beginning, I've been telling people, I said, and we don't know each other personally, you know what I'm saying? But from the beginning, I was telling people, like, I don't see how homie can be blamed. Like, I just felt like it was something else that was going on to where, like, how can y'all blame him and they don't live together? So it's so many questions. So the first question that people want to know, that I know of, before you tell your story, how long have y'all been together?
We've been fucking around for at least about a year.
Okay, you've been fucking around for at least about a year. So out of the year, how many times you think you've seen her kids?
It was frequently in the beginning, but then towards like, I would say September, shit started slowing down. You feel me?
Okay, so the kids been over to your spot?
They've been there before.
have you been to her house?
Like last year.
Last year, okay. Okay, so last year about what month you think?
Shit, bro, I couldn't even tell you. It's been a long ass time though.
So a lot of people are concerned. Tell them how you like, this is how she got around me seeing her house and how she was doing them children. How did she get around that? People are asking, how didn't you know that, you know, she was fucking, that she was neglecting them children? How did you not know?
But see, that's what's crazy because she would lie like she had 2 jobs. So she would go to work and then go to her other job type shit and then never, like, she'll be like, I'm about to go get the kids something to eat, you feel me? And then she go pull up. So boom, she said she did that and then she would pull up. So, well, who got the kids? Like I said, everybody saying I wasn't asking about the kids, I was. So she damn near like, they with my best friend or they with her stepdaughter, blah, blah, blah. So I feel like, why keep questioning it? You feel me? I'm not gonna ask her every day.
Right. But you did ask her where the kids at.
100%.
What about when she said she was leaving from your house? Did you think she was going home? Or, I mean, I know you said she had 2 jobs.
She had 2 jobs.
And she would, so at nighttime when she come over your crib, where would she say her kids was at?
With her best friend over at her house.
Over the best friend house?
No, she was like the best friend was watching the kids at her house.
Okay. So would you ever FaceTime her when she was at home?
Yep.
How was she, was you able to see that house in the background?
She would never turn the camera around. She always had it like this.
Okay. Hold on, say that again. Karen, this is not the time. Okay. So let me ask you this question. Was it any signs that she was neglectful? Like any signs, like any?
None. Like, you know how a motherfucker go.
This what stresses me out about y'all, right? How exactly do you need to ask the question if there was any signs that she was neglectful? The simple fact that she at your house 4 days out the week and has a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old is a sign that she's neglectful. Where do our brain cells be at that we don't understand this stuff? You don't need to see a kid being dirty because a lot of these kids that's being neglected, they kids have them drip down head to toe in name brand clothes. And them kids are still being neglected. So now let's not just think that neglect is the far left end of the spectrum where kids are left at home in these squalor positions with feces and urine and trash and food and mold and rodents and all of that. No, there's other ways to neglect kids. The simple fact this woman was laying up with you for a majority of the week, it's only 5 days in a week. 7 if you include the weekend. So if she's with you 4 out of 7 days, 5 out of 7 days at your house, that is a sign that she neglected her babies. If she's working 2 jobs and after she gets off them jobs, she's coming to spend time with you, did you ever stop to think about the fact, dumb ditty, if she's spending all this time with you and she has 2 damn jobs, when is she spending time with the children? Oh, my bad. You just wanted some putty tat, so that didn't matter.
With their normal day, just talking and laughing and going, saying I'm going to work, I'm trying to do this, I'm about to do this. Like, it was never I ain't seen the kids or nothing there. Like, she would say, like, on the daily, when she get off work, she'll go, I'm about to stop and get the kids something to eat, drop it off at the house, and I'm coming back over.
So, the thing is, like, I'm noticing, I'm seeing the pictures. So, she never had any stench to her or none of that? She never smelled?
Never. That's what I'm saying. Like, hell nah. Like, I ain't fucking with nobody who, nah, hell nah.
Okay. So now the news came out with an article today, bro. Right? And they.
But why was she stinking smell? Y'all saw the pictures of her. Her hair stayed laid. Makeup stayed together. Clothes stayed together. She wasn't her problem. Her kids were her problem. So no, I doubt she would ever go lay up with a nigga stinking and looking a mess. No, because he was her main priority. She gonna make sure she look good going to see him and laying up with him night after night after night. So yeah, she gonna make sure that Tootsie Pack clean. So you ain't gotta worry about whether or not she smell. She ain't been at home. She probably Febreze enough out of them clothes. Awesome and everything else. Them clothes probably sprayed down with Glade. Y'all gotta do better with picking and choosing who y'all choose to lay up with. I don't. And we wonder why STDs and everything else is on a incline to heaven. Because y'all don't stop and think about who y'all laying down with before y'all lay down with them. Because if it look good, it must feel good, right?
Upped her charges to murder. And, and I think it was because of the neglectful nature of it. Did she ever mention to you about hurting her kids? Like, I fucked these ugly little motherfuckers or anything?
Never. Nigga, the day Saturday, she said she was supposed to be going to her stepdaughter's high school prep rally. She was like, she about to stop and get the baby something to wear. And I went to go get my hair cut. We left out my house at like 4:45 because my haircut appointment was at 5. So boom, I get my hair cut. She gone already. She called me around 6:20, and everything went from there.
So a lot of people were saying every night she came. So out of a week, how many nights was she coming to your house, like realistically, to spend the night?
Realistically, I would say 4 to 5.
4 to 5 days. Did she ever bring her? Did you feel like it would be disrespectful for her kids to spend the night there too at your house?
Never.
Okay.
I rock with kids.
Okay. So you was for the kids coming over, and the kids have been in your house.
They have.
And basically you like, why am I about to keep asking about her kids? And I feel like, why would you when she's not giving you no signs of neglect and you're seeing the kids?
Damn, bro, this my lawyer, bro. Let me jump back on?
All right, go ahead, hang up, call him, call you right back. I mean, of course, but I was about to get to the point where, like I told him, I wasn't going to incriminate him, but the thing I was about to ask him was simple. They said that he.
You know what? Y'all men need to start holding each other accountable. That's what really needs to happen. Y'all really need to start holding each other accountable in these situations. That's the problem. That's the problem. I'm not going to incriminate them. Y'all broco stresses me out sometimes. Y'all really do. Because he know this man is the problem in this situation, even if he's not directly responsible. I'm not saying he's directly responsible, and I'm not saying he not. What I'm saying is I haven't seen full proof that he isn't, and that he is. And you know me, I can't go off speculation with what I put out. I can put out what I feel, but I won't put out what I feel is fact. Here's the thing. Even though he might not be directly responsible for what happened in this situation, he's responsible. You're responsible. You're responsible because you laid up with her night after night. Y'all was in a relationship. Y'all was making music together and all this stuff. And you let her lay up with you knowing she had 2 little ones at home. Can't fully put the blame on you because those are not your children. You didn't give birth to them, but I want you to care. And this gentleman on the screen, I kind of have a problem with some of his comments too, because he's there with a woman. He talking to a woman in the background. Do you have children? You men got to care more. You got to care when it's time to care. Not just when your mama and your sister and your auntie and all that being jumped on by a dude. No, you need to care about these kids in your family too. If you gonna date a woman with kids, you need to be caring about her and her kids. And if you can't step up to the plate and do that, walk away. Walk away. Or make sure you double, triple wrap tight, so you don't accidentally create another one. Because she done already proved she don't care about the two she got. And you consistently laying up with her. Talking about, I ain't gonna ask her every day. Why wouldn't you? She laying up with you every day. This is sick. It really is.
He lied. He was trying to protect her. That's where his charges come from. That's evident. His charges come from him trying to protect her. And that's why people was like, you know, fuck that. It's your phone, baby. Like, why would you try to protect her? When they say protect her, but I've been interrogated, and I know how these motherfucking people lie on you in a heartbeat. I'm not saying. I think if anything, he would be. That's mine, gorgeous. Yeah. I think if anything, they can try to say he's guilty of is being naive. But you know, realistically, ask yourself this question, y'all. Let's just keep it a buck. Ask yourself this. If I seen your child and you clean, because if you see, her hair was knelt, nigga, got $1,000 wig on. Like, I'm seeing your children. He don't got no children. You know what I'm saying? He like, so the kids ain't spending the night over here.
He didn't say he's seeing her children. He said he has seen her children. Those are two different things. And it had been months since the last time he's seen her children. So it's not seeing. You were laying up with a woman, having fun with a woman. Meanwhile, her children were at home, eating feces, surrounded by urine and rats, in the freezing cold, in January, in Indianapolis, where it is cold during the winter months. You left your children at home in the freezing cold so you can go lay up with a ninja. So again, I say, I'm not saying he's directly responsible, but I am saying he's responsible. As would I say any man would be responsible if you're laying up with a woman with kids and she forever at your house and never with her children. You got to start asking yourself some questions. Ask questions about these individuals. Because had he asked questions, he wouldn't be a part of this situation right now, trying to prove his innocence to the world because you let this woman lay up with you and you lied to protect her. That makes you just as guilty, even if you're guilty after the fact.
But if you telling me I'm going to get my kids, I'm doing this with my kids, y'all, I don't know what was said to them police. I was going to get to that. But I told him I wasn't going to incriminate him on my live. You get what I'm saying? But what he told me, and I don't think he's going to probably get back on here, but what he told me was, bro, she's just a monster. Hold on. For the people who think they only charging you, bro, so you can tell on her. I'm just being 100. You clearly hear this woman in there and say, I don't know why they keep fucking with you. But let's get something straight. Let's get something straight, then I'm gonna get off this live.
And I'm just gonna stop it right there. because like I told y'all, I'm gonna release that in a separate video by itself so that you can hear his full commentary and what he's learned about this story. We're going to be following this story. We're going to continue to follow the story with Miss Kelly and the 3 babies in Michigan. We're also going to be following the story with the 9-year-old that was found in Detroit. What's going on in Detroit? Detroit, y'all got some explaining to do. It's a whole lot going on with mothers harming children in Detroit. It's a lot going on. But we definitely gonna cover the 9-year-old. We're gonna be following up on that little boy who was found on the side of the garage. Mother unalived him and buried him next to the garage. We're also going to be following up on the story that I showed you the clip of earlier, that kind of released today with the 10-year-old that's fighting for his life in the hospital, and they're trying to figure out what was going on with the mother who's not being cooperative because she's the one took him to the hospital, and he's covered with bruises and whatever else is going on with this little boy that brought the reporter, the lady, the detective, I don't know what her position was, that was speaking about it, to tears in the press conference. We're going to be covering that. So we're going to be on these monster moms because these children are living in nightmares. Forget Nightmare on Elm Street. We thought the nightmares came when you went to sleep. No, some of these children are living in nightmares and then still have to go to sleep. Some of them probably aren't even sleeping because they're too afraid to. The little 9-year-old boy said that he reached out and told people that his mother was trying to unalive him. They did nothing. We got to care more about each other and about these children, about their safety. We need to start back some programs. We need to start back some neighborhood watches. We need something. Youth centers need to open up all over the place. Safe places. What happened to the safe places where the kids could run to when they was in trouble? What happened to those? We need them back. Because our children are in trouble. They are. So y'all, what y'all think about today's show and these mamas? Let me look at what y'all saying. Yeah, I posted in the chat. These stories stressing me out. They are. They are. Because they coming back to back. It's too many of them. Progressive said, and no Nana said everything that looked good to you ain't for you. Absolutely. But see, they don't care about that. They gonna try it just because you said it's not good for them. You know, that's the generation we have now. You tell them it ain't good for them, that's what they want to go get. Wale told us best. He did. Good girls want a hood nigga. College girls all want a thug. Something like that, whatever he said. You know how it go. We want the opposite of what we should have. We do the opposite of what we should do. Paul said, when I would do good, evil is always present with me. Oh, wretched man that I am. Who can deliver me from this body of death? That's what Paul said in the Bible. They don't want reason. She just said, F the kids. I ain't got none. She built a whole home with this dude. Kids just living in squalor. I'm all done. Absolutely. Absolutely. Niecy says she need her anxiety medication. Ain't no homeboy calling him. It's about these kids. F your homeboy. People priorities is messed up. Absolutely. need a spa treatment and a 2-week vacation dealing with these heathens. Yeah, cause it's sad. And like I said, there's so many other stories with babies. So many other stories. And not at the hands of strangers. We be so on the lookout and talking about these predators, these white vans. It's these babies dealing with hellion parents, henheads, hellhounds. These babies don't even have a fighting chance. They don't. And that's sad. That's sad. Generally, you start thinking about, you don't have to start worrying about fighting and dealing with the world until you about 18, 19, you get out on your own. Yeah, not anymore. These kids are having to strike it out on their own at 12, 13, 10. These babies, 2 and 3. The other story with Kelli Bryant, them babies 15, 13, and 12. Which meant when she left them, if it was 5 years ago, they were 10, 8, and 7. So think about that gap. Think about what happens between 10 and 15 for a boy. And he's left alone to figure that out. Just think about it. Think about the mental changes, the physical changes. Think about that. Nobody's there to walk him through that. The girls. Think about the changes her body goes through between 10 and 12, 13. Now we're talking about puberty. Now we're talking about menstruation. Now we're talking about cycles. Nobody's there to walk them through that. Nobody's there to help them understand what that even is. How to take care of it. How to properly clean yourself. What to do to make the cramps easier. The nausea. Because some people get sick. The pain, the irritability, the mood swings, crankiness, the tiredness. Nobody's there. And you better hope they didn't hit an explorative mode at 12 and 13 and 15. And the only people you're surrounded by are your siblings. But, they kept their social media presence up. So I guess, that matters. That's all, y'all, I have for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. My YouTube has literally been cutting up the entire show. I wish y'all could have seen my studio talk about poor connection, stuff don't go through. Y'all, ever since we covered them robots, and I'm gonna keep saying it. And just for that, our next video, we gonna take a pause from the Momsters. I might have to go back and pull up the sex robots since they want to play in my face. Okay. Let me show you our playback. It's chess, not checkers. It's still a queen on the board. Y'all trying to play with my videos and my lives. Because I'm talking about these robots. And apparently they got rights and citizenship. Okay. We're going to have to go back and talk about the robots. What y'all think about that? Thank y'all. for joining me in the Champagne City, in the Chalet, in the Hennessy Zone, whatever you want to call it for today's show. Thank you for joining me. Excuse me. Make sure you do me a favor if you enjoyed the show. Please hit that like button for me. Consider subscribing to the channel. Join the Champagne Gang and the FizzFam. Become one of us. We'll be so glad to have you. And if you're not sure just yet, don't worry about it. We'll leave the light on for you, all right? Once again, we want to wish a very, very, very happy birthday to one of our special confidants, Miss Niecy B101. Baby, happy birthday. I hope this year brings you everything your heart so desires. I pray that God enlarges your coast and enlarges your territory. I pray that God wipes away every tear from your eye, and He makes every moment from this moment forward a joyous experience. For as much joy as you have brought to my channel and to the Champagne City, baby, I pray God blows your mind. And I can't wait to meet you in October. I can't. For our get together in the Vegas, baby. Yes. I still don't know how we get in there because I ain't flying. I ain't going to be able to do it. Maybe by then they'll have the airways unelectrocuted so the planes can stay in the air. But if they haven't, I don't know. I'll take a horse before I get on the plane. I'll take a buggy. I'll take a bike before I get on the plane. I ain't gonna be able to do it. They can't stay in the air. They can't stay in the air. So until they figure out how to keep them in the air, I'm staying on the ground. So we gonna have to gather in Discord and discuss this Vegas trip with the Champagne Gang and the Lock Fam to figure out how we gonna get there. Because it won't be out by airplane. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. But thank you, God. Progressive said Spirit Airlines, the Lord's plane. You've been putting that in every single chat. You say that's the only way you gonna fly is on Spirit. That's the only one that seemed to not have gone down. I had a problem. But I'm gonna have to search YouTube because every time we say something else happened. Lord, keep Spirit safe. I ain't never had an issue on Spirit, except, they seats is so close together and my legs is long. I'm 5'11", tall girl. I need space. But again, thank you guys for joining me. We will be continuing this series talking about these monster moms because y'all need to know about the monsters that's living right around y'all. Y'all need to start opening your eyes and paying attention. Pay attention to what's going on in your family, with your children, nieces, nephews, friends, kids, neighborhood kids. Keep a watchful eye out. They can't protect themselves. They need us at the end of the day. All right? Thank you guys so much.